Okay, so we've had 4 Fantastic Four movies yet, but here's hoping that this one's fantastic. Marvel's first family is what they're called, and this is the Fantastic Four's first foray into the Marvel Cinematic Universe. We, of course, had John Krasinski appearing as Reed Richards, aka Mr. Fantastic, in Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness, but this is a fresh cast. Well, this movie is, of course, directed by Matt Shakman, who's helmed WandaVision on Disney+, and it's got rave reviews. Well, this movie has a brilliant star cast. We have Pedro Pascal, we have Vanessa Kirby, we have Joseph Quinn, and we have Eben Moss-Backrack. Well, Eben Moss-Backrack is, of course, not new to Family Affairs. We all loved his performance as cousin on the hit FX show The Bear. Well, Joseph Quinn is giving a fiery performance as the Human Torch. Well, we, of course, saw Vanessa Kirby in the Mission Impossible movies, and she's clearly on a mission as Sue Storm, aka Mrs. Fantastic, and Pedro Pascal is everywhere. Well, just like his recent titles, which include the likes of The Last of Us, Materialists, he's doing a brilliant job here, and I'm really excited for this movie. So how about we talk about some fun facts? Let's do it. Okay, so here's the first fun fact about the Fantastic Four First Steps. Film is set in an alternative version of the 1960s, blending vintage sci-fi with futuristic design, a retro-futuristic aesthetic reminiscent of Googie architecture, World's Fair posters, and Stanley Kubrick's 1960s lens style. Okay, so here's the second fun fact. A lot of people have praised James Gunn for his comic-accurate portrayal of Superman, and well, Matt Shakman is also being very comic-accurate. He's, of course, based it on Stan Lee and Jack Kirby's comic books, and it's also based on the recent Ryan North's Fantastic Four series, so it's looking absolutely wonderful. Okay, so the third fun fact is that the movie trailer amassed 202 million views in the first 24 hours of it being out, and that clearly shows the excitement of everyone who's really looking forward to watching this movie. And let's talk about some of my favorite scenes from all the previous interpretations of the Fantastic Four franchise. So let's go. Okay, so my first favorite scene from the Fantastic Four movies is actually from Fantastic Four, the first part of Fantastic Four that released in 2005, and that's actually the bridge rescue scene where the whole team comes together, and it's so beautifully shot and made. I really love that part. And my second favorite scene is where we have Chris Evans, who's of course playing the role of Johnny Storm, aka the Human Torch, who's actually chasing Silver Surfer in Fantastic Four Rise of the Silver Surfer. And my third favorite scene is actually from the reboot of Fantastic Four that released in 2015. Well, I'm talking about the scene where they actually go into teleportation and their bodies mutate, but there's a very horror touch to it, the way they've shot it, and that's really interesting. And a special mention is actually the scene where Chris Evans comes back as the Human Torch in Deadpool and Wolverine. It's a hilarious scene, and the way they've shot it with, of course, Ryan Reynolds playing the role of Deadpool and Hugh Jackman playing the role of Wolverine. Well, we all for a moment thought that Chris Evans is back as Captain America. Well, it was, of course, directed brilliantly by Sean Levi, and I absolutely love the scene. Well, I'm really looking forward to Chris Evans coming back, even for a brief moment, as the Human Torch or Captain America. It'll be really cool to see him back with Robert Downey Jr. in Avengers Doomsday and Avengers Secret Wars. And well, I'm so excited for the Fantastic Four First Steps. Well, all the promotional material that they've released so far is absolutely wonderful, and I'm really excited. It's, of course, opened to 88% positive reviews on Rotten Tomatoes, and I would love to know what you think about the same. You can let us know in the comment section. But we're not done with today's episode. It's time to talk about, if you like this, what can you watch? And I would suggest you watch one of my favorite movies, not my favorite animated movies, one of my favorite movies of all time, The Incredibles, and here's why. The Incredibles follows a family of superheroes forced to live in hiding. When the father, Mr. Incredible, is lured into a trap by a vengeful villain named Syndrome, his wife, Elastigirl, and their superpowered kids step in to save him. Together, they defeat the villain and embrace life as a heroic family once again. Well, that brings us to the end of today's episode of Binge Watch. I'm really excited for the Fantastic Four First Steps. We're not going to be having an MCU movie for a very long time until Spider-Man Brand New Day. Well, of course, there are rumors suggesting that Pedro Pascal is going to be leading the Avengers team in Avengers Doomsday and Avengers Secret Wars. I'm really looking forward to this very movie. Would love to know what you think about the same. Like this video. Comment down what do you think about the Fantastic Four First Steps. Is there any other MCU title you want for us to cover? What other movies or TV shows would you want us to cover on Binge Watch? Well, we try to bring you a Binge Watch episode once a week right here on Radio 1 International's YouTube channel. Share this with family and friends, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.
94.3 Radio 1.